3, 2, 1.
Never, never die. Never, never die. Never, never die. Never, never die. Others left lying in the dark. Never put the lights.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am back after 4 or 5 days of being absent. I haven't uploaded a video on YouTube. But today's video is very special. Today's video is about a bike that has a story. The bike disappeared in 2016 to make place for the AS200. But then in a dramatic turn of events, it returned again. And I'm talking about the Naked Wolf, the Pulsar 200 NS. And here we have it side by side with my 200 RS. NS obviously stands for Naked Sport, RS stands for Race Sport. Then Naked, it's a naked bike, Race Sport has a fairing. This particular NS, because it's a BS4, is carbureted, whereas my RS is fuel injected. And so listen to the exhaust note of the BS4 NS200. So this is the first time I'm riding a BS4 spec NS. Way louder than the RS BS4. The front is very light. I can automatically tell you just by turning it, it's very light. I don't have to stretch my arms out as much as I need to on the RS, and that's a good thing. So what I'm finding is that on the RS I can lock myself very well in the riding position, but on the NS I can't lock myself for whatever reason. I think that because the tank is designed a certain way, I'm not able to lock myself, even though this is supposed to be grippy. But the RS has a tank grip thing, you know, so it allows you to grip much better. So far, what do you think?
Yeah, good. Power also is good of this.
You're finding difference between carbureted and fuel injected?
Yeah, little bit of difference on smoothness and vibrations and all. On high RPM, this vibrates a lot.
Yeah? We'll see. So now we are going to take the NS into a corner. I have done this corner many times on the RS. Now let's see how it goes on the NS. Yeah, the RS is a little more pulley at higher revs, but I can still corner this. I like it. The NS is very light to steer, very very light, and I think because the way you're sitting a little bit more forward than the RS, it's a much better handler, at least in the city. So now we're going to have a short drag race, a very friendly drag race. Actually, it's not fair. That's a lighter bike. It's older, so you never know in which side the drag race can go. But as of now, I have 1 horsepower more. He has 20 kgs less. And what else? Yeah, I have the fairing, so you never know what's going to come out. Okay. 3, 2, 1. if after my LS, if I would have bought the NS now, my learning curve would be easy. It's very easy to learn on the NS because it's lighter. It feels peppy.
Till you break my heart. Till you break my thought.
So this is the BS4 NS200 and this is the BS6 RS200. At the time of launch, the NS was always carbureted and the RS was always fuel injected. Therefore, the RS had one extra horsepower, but it also had to deal with 20 kgs more. And the sprocketing at the back on the RS was 41 tooth versus I think 39 on the NS. Now what that means is that acceleration on the NS is faster because it's lighter. BS6, BS4, BS3, whatever it is. But then the top end on the RS was better. But lately what has happened is now because of the sprocketing also plays a big role in the speeds. So when I was riding the bike today, I tried to maintain 60 on the NS, it would come up at 4000 RPM, and 60 on the RS would come at 4500 RPM. So that there is 500 revs more that you need to hold on the RS than the NS. Maybe the carburetor also plays a role, but the fact that it's 500 revs more, I need to test a BS6 NS to confirm that. But the head on both the bikes is different. This is a fuel injected head, this is a carbureted head. Also the disc. Now this is the ABS version, but if you had a non-ABS NS, you would have a smaller disc brake. You would have a 282 mm disc brake, but this is the ABS, so it has a 300 mm disc, which is the same that they have on the RS. But this is a single channel ABS motorcycle, whereas the RS is dual channel. Also, a very crucial difference is if you look at the shock up on the RS, look at it, see how compressed it is. Whereas if you look at it on the NS, there's just no weight to compress it. So there's a major difference. Also underbelly versus race exhaust. So I enjoyed riding the NS mostly because it is more flickable than the RS. The RS feels a little more lazy. Even when I took it in the corner, I did not feel like I'm missing anything compared to the RS. Maybe in back-to-back corners, this will be much better than the RS. That said, from the touring aspect, you would need a visor in front and all of that, but the RS already comes with that. And the reason I did not buy the NS, even though it came in the BS6 Avatar, is because when I upgraded, I wanted it to have dual channel ABS. I really like the projectors on the RS. They do a good job in the night. And the NS did not have that. Even in the BS6 Avatar, it doesn't have it. But as far as design is concerned, a lot of people like and dislike the RS, but everyone who looks at the NS always has liked the NS in terms of design. It looked proportionate. It was the first of the second generation Pulsars that came out. So the perimeter frame, the 4-valve DTSI, triple spark, the weight composition, the suspension, the brakes, everything. They designed it very well for the NS and then they carried it forward on the RS. Even the Dominar today uses the same basic frame, is the same. This perimeter frame has stayed the same on all the new generation Pulsars. Another thing I had realized after I bought the RS, I realized that if I had to change my engine oil, on the NS it's just go like open, fill the engine oil, finished. On the RS you can't do that. On the RS you have to open the whole fairing out to do the same job. And for anything, even for coolant, you have to put your way through and all of that. So in terms of daily maintenance, I think the NS is easier to handle as well. And Nitrox, monoshock, same. The brakes, Bibre, brakes, everything's the same. I have ridden it to Aura Cafe, Lonavala. I didn't find an issue. What issue I find on the RS for long rides is the seat. It is soft. I don't know what is your seat. What is your seat? Yeah, yours is a little harder than mine. But what happens is, even though it is soft, After a long distance, you feel the pain. But when you ride the Dominar, I have ridden the Dominar 250, the seat is so big, so comfortable.
Yeah, that is.
Relaxed it is. Even the engine and everything, no vibrations only, nothing is there only on the new Dominar. Matlab, it's a good thing. But yeah, the first 3 services I'll do it at the service center. After that, I'll take it in my own hands. Because the ECU has to be updated on this. Because it's a fuel injected, they are getting ECU updates. And after the ECU update, it seems the top speed has gone up a little bit. How much yours is opened, max?
Max is 145 like that.
Okay. I open my 147, but at 147 the limiter comes and then it hits it back down. The good part about it is, and why, see, the direct competition of this bike at this point is, you know what? The Apache 200. Apache only 5 gears, 20 bhp. This is 6 gears, 23 bhp. Matlab you have little more power on the highway to overtake and all. 6 gears, and the last gear you must have noticed is very long. If you can cruise from 60 to 100 on that gear. This is like, you slot me into 6th gear, I'm happy. I'll do my best to hold 100, 120. And this, when I went to Lonavala, 100, 110 I was holding no issue. Ride aram se. You're going from inside, na?
Huh?
Inside road you'll take, na?
Yeah.
Cool. You wouldn't say that both these bikes are related because they look so different. There's not a single panel that they share other than the swing arm and the shock ups, the wheels. Nothing else is shared, and obviously the engine. But the design wise, the panels, the plastic panels, they don't share anything. They look so different from each other. So I hope you all enjoyed that video. This 200NS was obviously carbureted, but what we get in 2021 is the fuel injected NS. So they would be very identical. My RS and the new 200NS would be identical in terms of power figures, in terms of top speed, acceleration, and the way the bike feels. But this was a carbureted 200NS, and it's probably the last carbureted 200cc bike out there. But through the corner, I felt that, you know, the carburation is coming in the way of getting the best out of the engine, because the RS is able to, you know, give you more power past that, not more power, but it gives you a better surge. The power figures might be the same, but it gives you a surge that, okay, you can hold this corner with this lean angle and you can go through. But the NS is like, okay, wait. Let me rev up a little bit more and then the power will come in. So it's a very small difference, and you'll only feel it when you're revving it to that level and in a particular situation like the corner, because I'm powering out of the corner, I'm not slowing down. So then you need that top end surge, which the RS has. The new NS would also have it, but this was a carbureted machine. But actually, if you just put me onto the NS, the NS that I rode yesterday, and ask me if it's fuel injected or carbureted, I wouldn't be able to tell, because it is that smooth. And maybe if you look underneath the engine, you'll come to know, oh my god, it's carbureted, because the smoothness is not very apparent over FI and carbureted. It's just, you know, the fuel injected one feels a little more refined. And at that time, they had to distinguish between the RS and the NS. So the RS was obviously more expensive, but it had certain hardware. So they took the fuel injection system from the Dukes and the RCs. So that's why it has a bigger throttle body than the NS, not the current NS, the BS4 NS. That being said, I think the NS and the RS sub 2 lakh, I think they are one of the most powerful machines out there, barring the Dominar 250, which is, I think, the most powerful bike under 2 lakhs right now, because the R15 has gone above 2 lakhs. The Dukes and the RCs were always above 2 lakhs, at least in 2020 and 2021. So the performance is still there, and considering that, you know, you're competing with something like the Apache RTR, you're competing with something like the FZ25, which are in that same ballpark figure of, you know, sub 2 lakh. I think they still have a lot of performance. It remains to be seen what the new 250s are going to be like from Bajaj, because they will probably shuffle up the market a little bit. I still think that they're going to be a lot like the FZ25 and nothing like the NS and the RS as we know it, because they are not going to use KTM engines. They are using brand new 250cc engines, which are going to be a little tame compared to what the RS and the NS have. So that is all for this video. I will see you in the next one. Till then, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. and I'll see you soon on my channel. Obviously on my channel or on my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. The ID might be in the description.